All right, my man. So how you been, brother?
Man, I can't complain whatsoever, man. Just in the final stages of this weight cut.
Nice, nice. How was your trip to Croatia you told me about?
Man, it was awesome. Now I really dig Europe, man. They got a lot of good stuff going on over there. The food is phenomenal. The scenery is beautiful, and man, me and my wife just had a great time.
That's awesome. What's that deal you got in your hand there I see you waving around?
It's a CBD pen. Uh, Man, I've been on these CBDs for last few months, and man, I really like this stuff. Once I fall asleep, it helps me stay asleep. It's been studies have been done and proven that it reduces and prevents the plaque that builds up in your brain that causes Alzheimer's, CTE, and dementia. And the CTE thing that's big for me. After going from football to
Mm,
MMA, so
yeah,
definitely something if I can prevent from happening, that I would definitely uh, try and do so. It reduces inflammation, helps recovery, and stabilizes blood sugar. So it's really good for diabetics. It's the hemp is an awesome plant, man.
absolutely. Yeah, I have a sponsor as well that's into CBD. It's great.
And
So, what sponsor are you?
uh, Infinite CBD
Okay, cool.
out of Colorado. And the cool thing about it is that there's like no THC in it, right? So so added, the UFC with USADA, they have in competition testing and out of competition testing. So out of competition, it's all good. In competition is like the day of the fight, and then an hour after you clear medicals.
Mm,
So, but in January, CBD will be legal across, in competition, out of competition, or whatever. So, you know, um,
that's
I can
awesome.
just be on this all the time. They got gummies, they got joint creams. Um, this is a vape pen that I smoke out of. They got capsules, pills. Um, they can make protein powder out of it. It's awesome the stuff that it can do and that they can do with it.
And you don't think it hurts your
My lungs,
yeah,
cardio,
yeah, exact your
not at all,
cardio at all?
not at all. Uh-uh.
Okay, cool, cool. So, man, dare I ask how your Thanksgiving was?
Oh man, my Thanksgiving was awesome. My wife, she runs a school. She teaches secondary language. She's amazing. She can speak French, Croatian, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And so she mainly teaches Spanish, English, and Portuguese. So a lot of these people, the foreigners, they don't have any family here. So we all went out to a nice restaurant so that everybody could get a meal and kind of feel that family atmosphere.
Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome. What does your wife do? I noticed on Instagram she has like a really big following as well.
Aside from her school that she runs, she developed her own method to teach secondary language, wrote her own book, her own manual and stuff. She's also really big into fitness. So she does fitness competitions and, things like that. So she's very easy on the eyes. So, if people want to, take a look, I guess.
Right. How did you guys meet?
The Brazilian and jiu-jitsu community is very, very small here in Birmingham, Alabama, where we both, were living at the time. And, you know, I, I forget where we were at, but, she saw me and, we have a mutual friend. And he's like, hey, I know him. He does jiu-jitsu, yada, yada, yada. So he made the introduction, broke the ice. And, man, we've pretty much been together ever since.
That's cool. How long ago was that?
2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. And you have kids together, right?
She has a son and I have a son.
Okay, got
We
you.
don't have one together.
Got you. But you have a family. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I don't think her and we don't really we don't think we're gonna have any more kids just because the infant phase, the baby phase, is enough to drive you crazy.
It's a lot of work, right?
My son is 8, her son is 6, so they're self sufficient. They can go to the bathroom by themselves. They can feed themselves. Pretty much the only thing we got to do is keep them from killing each other. So, so we're cool with that.
Do they get along?
Man, you'd have thought that they were brothers from birth.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
in the beginning, the oldest, my son Israel, he really didn't. He was used to being the only one, right? So everything he did, Noah, the younger one, wanted to do. So just like brothers, he emulated him, copycat everything. So
Oh, yeah.
now, they wrestle, fight, and they do everything together.
That's awesome. Yeah, I see them out there kind of following you on the hill when you're out there running on the hill.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is, I don't force them to do anything. Like you have to do something. It doesn't have to be jujitsu. If they want to play chess, they can play chess. If they want to, play the trumpet or the drums or whatever, they can do that. But they have to have an extracurricular activity. It just so happens that they both love doing jujitsu and MMA training. Obviously, I'm not gonna, have my kids punching each other in the head and whatnot. So
Right.
at this young, but if that's something that they choose to pursue later on down the road, they'll have, buku experience in that. But they see me out there running the hill, and they asked to do it. So, you know, my wife lets me down at the bottom of the hill, and drives about halfway up, lets them out, and then we all meet up at the top.
So did they have they seen your football accolades as well? Do they have a pursuit or dreams of pursuing football?
My oldest one, he was around for the end of my college career.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been to games. You know, uh, so he likes football. He's from he's from Alabama. So everybody always brings up the Alabama football thing and whatnot. The other son Noah, he's not really into football for real. He really loves and enjoys soccer and MMA. So if they want to play football, cool. If not, then whatever.
If you had to choose which one they were gonna do, football or MMA, what would you have them do?
MMA for sure, hands down.
Why is that?
Just because I don't see, running into somebody full speed and they're running full speed.
Yeah, that's
All the collisions, like my body did not appreciate that. Whenever I played football, I always woke up, sore and beat up, and at the time I just didn't know no better. I was like, man, it's just part of the game, whatever. But later on down the road, doing MMA, my body has never felt better than it does now.
got somebody walking up on you.
No, yeah, my wife's walking outside now, baby.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So yeah, my body definitely appreciates MMA. I don't get, we train very smart at Spartan Fitness where I train at. So it's not like, we're throwing haymakers at each other's head every day. We spar twice a week. Everything else is like timing and motion stuff. So it definitely preserves your career, your brain, and your body much better than football does.
Absolutely. Speaking of football, I know you're probably getting geared up on Saturday to watch your Alabama Crimson Tide take on Auburn, right? But did you also see the Gastelum and Bisping fight?
Yeah, I definitely watched the Bisping fight. You know, um, not really sure what compelled Michael Bisping to take that fight, but whatever, man. That guy's a warrior. He's gritty. So what makes sense to him, that's all it needs to make sense. Is it's only got to make sense to him and nobody else. So he went out there, he rolled the dice. Didn't come out in his favor, but I think everybody respects Michael Bisping for doing stuff like that.
So do you think he should have waited and taken a little bit of time and then come back in a couple of months, maybe
I mean,
down the road?
I don't even think the time between fights was the issue. I think that if you're the champ, why not wait so you can get a rematch or fight somebody a little higher up the pole than Calvin
Mm-hmm.
Gastelum was. But for Calvin Gastelum, man, hell of a dice roll. Hell yeah, I fight Michael Bisping. He's probably in the top 5 now. So makes sense.
Puts him in good position,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Calvin Gastelum, but the risk and reward, to me, wasn't there for Michael Bisping.
Right, right. I think a lot of us can agree with that as well.
Yeah.
So 11 days out, man. How are you feeling? How was the camp? Was it a pretty smooth camp, or did you have to overcome any hurdles?
I mean, I really never stopped training. So, from I took those 10 days off to kind of relax and enjoy time with my wife and whatnot. With just us, no kids, no gym, no nothing. Just her and I, and had a lot of fun doing that. And then whenever we got back, I've been training ever since. So it's not like I'm not at the gym anyways. So I'm always there. I pretty much live there. So um, you know,
It seems like you love the lifestyle of an athlete. Is that true?
yeah, I definitely like. I used to do the whole 9 to 5. Sit behind a desk. I used to unload. Work for Coca-Cola, unloading trucks. Bringing them into the gas station and whatnot. Worked for the government, but just sitting at a desk and doing that kind of stuff. That's just not in my DNA, and that's not what I feel like I was put here to do. So, um, like you see me right now, like I'm fidgeting, I'm moving, like I can't sit still. So this has definitely been very beneficial. I love this lifestyle.
How long of a break was it before you got into MMA after your college football career?
Um, I'm not really sure of the timeline. Maybe like 6 months. Let's see. I think I stopped playing football in like June of 2012, and then I had my first fight November or December of
Oh wow!
2012.
So
So
you picked it up pretty quick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, man, the gym that I was training at, man, it was not conducive to have this as a career. I don't recommend anybody competing in MMA after 3 or 4 months of training with no prior training. Like I have no background in anything. Like I have JV level experience wrestling. I never boxed, never did karate, never did anything. And then, my coach thought it would be a good idea to throw. And I won. Don't get me wrong. Like I choked the guy out in like 53 seconds, but I really didn't. It was all instinct. And it didn't look pretty neither. So I don't recommend anybody. I suggest everybody wait like a year or two before you even think about taking your first MMA fight.
Which is more exciting experience, walking out to the octagon or walking out to the football field?
Well, football, man, you come off and on the field like 3 or 4 times before the game even starts. You go out there to warm up on your own, then you go out there, and then you come back in. You go out there, warm up as a team, you go back in. Then you come out before the game, then you're just back and forth all the time. The octagon, you're out there until the fight is over, and then you go back in. So, but to be honest, I think I definitely have more jitters playing football than I do MMA.
Oh really?
Like when I fought Hoppy on the tall, I've never felt more calm, cool, and collected, mentally, physically, uh, anything than I have before any competition. You know, ever in my life. So, um, I've just found a home, and it feels natural to be in the cage.
Are you a little more at ease going into this fight week, knowing that kind of what to expect is it and what to anticipate?
The thing with MMA, man, you really never know what to expect or what to anticipate. Because Markus Perez, man, I'm sure he trains hard. I'm sure he'll add a new wrinkle to his game that hasn't been exposed on film or hasn't been shown on film. So, I just go out there with a clear mind, and there's really not a lot of thought going on, just more instinct and reaction. Um, when I fight.
Marcus Perez just won the LFA title, the same organization you fought in before he made it to the UFC. He defeated Ian Heinisch. What'd you think about that bout, and what do you think about the matchup with him?
I definitely like the matchup between him and myself. I saw that Ian Heinisch fight. Markus Perez, he's got real slick jiu-jitsu, man. He tapped him out with a head and arm choke from the bottom, which you really just don't see that. That's the first time I've seen it in MMA. I'm sure it's done before, but You know, he likes footlocks. He's got some some heel hook, submissions and whatnot. So, and he's very slick on the ground. I think he's pretty durable. So he's definitely game. He'll come forward, and I'll come forward, and we'll meet in the middle and see what happens.
Sounds like an exciting one. That's awesome. You're fighting on FS1 again, but this time it's on the main card. How do you like being on that platform?
I definitely, I was on the prelims last time, on the main card this time, so I definitely feel like this is a step up a little bit. So I like that. We're moving forward and not
Mm-hmm.
backwards. You see some guys, they'll be on the prelims and then they'll be on Fight Pass, and then I want to keep moving forward.
Progress, continual progress, right?
That's right. That's it.
Anything specific you focused on before this fight?
Not really, man. I really don't have training camps. Like I said, I'm always in the gym, always training, always sharpening my tools, and getting better and stuff. So I really just focus on me and what I have to do to win the fight, and the rest will take care of itself, man. I think that if you try to game plan too much and whatever, I got plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever. I'm comfortable in any situation inside the cage, whether my back's on the mat, my back's on the cage, we're in space, I'm on top. I got his back against the cage. Um, there will definitely be no situation that I'm in inside the cage that I haven't simulated in practice or haven't visualized mentally already.
Perfect. Do you have any big plans scheduled for after the fight?
Me and my wife, we're gonna do Christmas in Brazil, so
Cool.
uh, where she's from. So I fight the 9th and come back the 10th. We'll be here that whole week, and then after that, we'll be gone till January, that first week in January. So
Awesome.
definitely looking forward to that as well.
Awesome, man. Well, enjoy the trip, brother. I appreciate your time, my man. As always, I know it's always in between practices before you, but I appreciate you making time in between one of your goes, man.
Oh, of course, man. Anytime, brother.
Absolutely. All right, guys, tune in this next Saturday, December the 9th, UFC Fight Night 123 from Fresno, California. Eryk, your boy Anders, will be taking on Markus Perez live on FS1. Don't miss it.